Have you ever stood in front of a mirror, squinting at your reflection with messy hair sticking up like little antennas, sleepy eyes half closed, toothpaste still on your chin, and suddenly wondered in a voice only your brain could hear, "Wait a second. Who exactly is this weird, blinking, slightly confused person staring back at me? And why does it feel like they've been borrowing my socks without asking?" Or maybe you've lain in bed on a quiet night, staring at the ceiling as shadows stretch across the room like giant lazy monsters, and asked yourself in the tiniest whisper, "Why am I sitting here with my favorite blanket tangled around my legs and not a dragon soaring through the sparkling clouds breathing glittery fire? Or a superhero flying across the city saving kittens from high tree branches while wearing a cape that smells faintly of chocolate chip cookies?" These are questions so big, twisty, and magical that even the smartest, wiggliest philosophers in the world have been scratching their heads, pacing back and forth, spilling their tea, and whispering to each other about the puzzle of the self if it were a treasure map that leads not to gold, but to the spark of you that is always moving, changing, and hiding in plain sight like a mischievous little elf wearing tiny sneakers. Some philosophers think that you are nothing more than your body, every single part, from your wiggly toes to your twitchy eyebrows to the exact shade of green in your eyes that changes when you are super happy or slightly annoyed at a broccoli on your plate. But then again, if you stub your toe or lose a sock under the bed, does that actually change who you are? Or does it just make you hop around, yelling in surprise while secretly wondering why the universe is so obsessed with socks? Others say you are your mind, a fantastical, never-ending storm of thoughts, memories, and ideas bouncing around like popcorn in a very hot pan, where some kernels pop into bright golden bursts of creativity, some burn into little blackened regrets, and others float away into the clouds of "Wait, what was I thinking again?" All while shaping the story of you in ways that feel magical, confusing, and completely unique. And then, if that wasn't mysterious enough, there are philosophers who insist that you have a soul, a tiny invisible spark inside you that twinkles like a constellation of tiny stars whenever you feel excited, nervous, or ridiculously happy about a slice of pizza, a new drawing, or that moment when your pet cat chooses to sit on your homework for absolutely no reason. As if to say, yes, this is yours now, mortal human, enjoy it. Some really clever thinkers even go so far as to say that maybe there is no self at all, and that what you think of as you is just a story your brain tells itself to keep things in order, which means that every time you ask, "Who am I?" you might actually be asking a very polite ghost who has been living in your head, nodding politely, and occasionally making you trip over your own shoelaces just to get your attention. The amazing, exciting, slightly dizzying part is that who you are is not frozen like a statue in a museum, but more like a chameleon sliding along a rainbow-colored skateboard across a sparkling river of memories, changing colors, shapes, and patterns every single day, sometimes blending in, sometimes standing out, and always carrying hints of yesterday, dreams of tomorrow, and the wild, shiny sparkle of right this very moment. You are not one single thing, not just a set of bones, thoughts, or invisible sparks. You are a gigantic, glittering, ever-changing puzzle made of your body, your mind, your feelings, your memories, your hopes, and even the tiny secret parts of yourself that you haven't discovered yet, all swirling together like confetti in a whirlwind of rainbow-colored paper, glitter, and sticky tape that somehow makes perfect sense if you squint just right and tilt your head at a mysterious angle. And the best way to explore this magical question of who am I is to do things that stretch your imagination, like drawing a rocket that can double as a dragon, singing a song so loud that your dog thinks it's auditioning for a talent show, climbing a tree as if it were a staircase to the moon, or building a fort out of cushions, blankets, and all the slightly suspicious socks under your bed, because every time you try something new you add a brand new sparkling piece to your puzzle that makes the story of you even richer, more colorful, and a little bit more magical than yesterday. The secret is, the puzzle of you never really ends because every laugh, every tear, every jump, and every day adds a tiny new piece. And you get to decide what shape it takes, whether it glows like neon lights in the dark or sparkles like tiny fairy dust caught in a sunbeam And sometimes it even surprises you by doing something completely unexpected, which is exactly why asking "Who am I?" is one of the most thrilling adventures you can ever go on. Some thinkers say you are like a river, flowing endlessly through valleys of memory, imagination, and dreams, carrying tiny fish of thought, leaves of experience, and the occasional glittering pebble of wisdom along the way. While others say you are a storybook, full of chapters that can be messy, funny, heroic, sad, or ridiculously strange, sometimes with talking animals offering unsolicited advice or tiny dragons wearing sunglasses in the margins, and sometimes with plot twists that make you spill your lemonade in surprise. Maybe the wisest idea is that you are a little bit of everything: the body, the mind, the soul, the stories, the adventures, the dreams you remember, and the ones you have yet to discover. And the most wonderful part is that you get to explore all of this. Play with it, imagine it, and add new pieces every single day, knowing that even the philosophers who wrote the longest books about it are still scratching their heads, wondering about the very same thing. Next time you look in the mirror, make a funny face, wiggle your eyebrows, or wave like a friendly alien and whisper to yourself, "Hello, mystery person, ready for another sparkling, twisty, confusing, beautiful adventure today?" Because you are always becoming, always changing, and always discovering new ways to shine in this wildly colorful, sometimes ridiculous, always amazing world. And maybe, just maybe, the best part is that you get to decide what kind of hero, explorer, wizard, or storyteller you want to be right now, this very second, as the puzzle of you keeps glittering, flowing, and unfolding in ways that no one else in the universe could ever imagine but you.